What's going on, YouTube? It's Isaac Lewis here. And today, I want to share some tips with you about being an artist. This is my truth about being an artist. Before I continue, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I see I'm getting views, but nobody subscribes. So, man, just punch that like subscribe button for me and click that bell for notifications so you can be the first to see my videos when I upload new content. Like I said, this is my truth about being an artist. And that goes for if you're a painter, a poet, a movie director, producer, or or author or writer. It goes for pretty much anything that deals with the process of creating. I want to start off with one thing, and this is number one. What is art? My definition would be art is the expression of the creator. So, for layman's terms, if you are one day and you're sitting on your patio and you're looking up, you're gazing at the sunset, and it's beautiful, and you are suddenly inspired by your emotions, something that's driving you forward to say, hey, I want to capture this scene. That is what you call art. Or if you love instruments and you hear this tune in your head and you grab your favorite instrument and you start playing, art. Or if a beautiful sonic come across your brain and you want to write it down on paper and get out to the public, art. And I said that to say this. Now, when you are writing, it's specifically for writing because I'm an author and I literally have different books in queue right now for different agents, and they are reading my art. And I've had an experience with an editor. Who didn't quite get the form of expression of my art as she read my book, which is understandable because we had two different backgrounds. It was probably a mistake on my part or a mistake on her part because we had a lack of communication. So each time I would send her my edited version of my book, she would send it back and she'd be like, hey, okay, well, now we need to do this, which is fine. You know, if you're any good editor is going to send back recommendations and suggestions. That's completely understandable. However, my ultimate issue was that I was paying these bills. My product wasn't getting finished. I felt like it wasn't being finished to being queried to agents or to push to publish. And that's where we kind of had a big fall off because I understand that as an editor, you want to bring out the best out of your writer. You want to coach them to their best. And sometimes that means being a bully and they have to say mean things to you. Say, hey, all right, come on, you could do better than it, which is completely understandable. Like I said, if you're getting the job done, you're getting the job done. However, where I disagreed was with me sending back my book and I wasn't getting anything in return. No ROI was being fulfilled. Every time I sent the book to my editor, it was always sent back with more recommendations and suggestions with a high bill. So, and you're talking about it's not going to be cheap, to get an editor to edit a 60,000, 70,000 word manuscript. And even if they're doing 2 cents a word or 1 cent a word, you're still looking at about $700, $1,400, even $2,800 if you want them to do the complete edit. And that's a lot of money when you think about it, and it could get very, very it's a little bit more so of a struggle. It could become very burdensome. Like you start to infringe on your life savings and stuff like that. Like I said, the average American household carries about $10,000 worth of credit card debt. So how much more money are you trying to send to an editor when you still have life events ahead of you? And I get it, some of you are gonna say, well, you shouldn't be writing a book. No, that's BS. That's some of the most, that's just a negative thought to get people. So a lot of people say things like that to get you from doing something that they can't do. And that's the only thing I can tell you really about these people is just to ignore them and keep going, stay the course. And like I said, guys, true art speaks for itself. And number two, simplistic art versus complex art. So if you think of two circles and they overlap each other and they have that fine in between that where both of them interlap, where they both have a piece of each other, think about it this way, that there is an audience for every type of art. So if some people who's going to look at a simple painting of a boat on a lake with the scenery in the background, while somebody may say, hey, this is deeper than that. This may be I see a depressed person out there alone, sitting alone by himself. He's chose to row a boat out to the lake, and they may go into a deeper analysis, making them even want to purchase the painting. So everybody is going to look at your art differently, whether it's writing, poetry, or paintings, or music. Everybody's going to look at your art differently, and you can have a person who likes complex art. They may see you may be a simplistic artist, but they may see the complexity in your art. You don't know that because that's not what you were thinking as you wrote it out, or you drew it out, or whatever you did, you painted it, because you wasn't conscious of something so complex that you're doing, because it's a mental process that you're breaking down to get this onto paper. So it's a big deal to people as far as what kind of art you're presenting, whether it's complex or simplistic. That's why most artists and creators, they just choose to let the people interpret what they feel about their art. And last but not least, number 3, don't get discouraged. I'll tell you why. Because art isn't a form of expression, it may take some time to develop. So allowing yourself maximum creativity during this time period can drastically affect your art. It can make it even better. Allowing yourself some time to maintain the maximum level of creativity can drastically affect your art. So don't get discouraged, get motivated. It's easy to get discouraged. If you're looking the way things are going, whether you're looking at the US economy and you got these doomsday articles being printed, oh, the stock market is crashing, that this is happening. It's going to make anybody in those market segments depressed, because they don't want to hear that. An investor don't want to hear that the stock market is going to be crashing when they are making their money generally off of investing. And then you got this FOMO, fear of missing out, and FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, that starts to clash with each other. Then you tank the economy because emotions are driving the best of them. So, but that's not how our art works. Art works because the creator is expressing themselves, and we have the ability to express ourselves in multiple ways. And like I said, whether it's writing, painting, singing, playing instruments, this is how we express ourselves, which is what I consider art. Now, I'm not a art major or anything. However, I do love literature. And one thing I realized is that when I was in college, the fact that I was reading Othello and some of these other books, it was called the Yellow Wallpaper, James Baldwin books. It just made me feel more respected towards literature, and I actually found a affinity for it. And once you create an affinity for it and an interest, it's all set from there. The only thing to do is just to continue to explore. But that's how you're going to become your own artist, because like I said, you'll get to the point where you picked your lane, and now you're able to, or you're confident enough to start expressing your art. And don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Just continue to do what you're doing, stay consistent, and believe me, next thing you'll know, you'll have a catalog of art, paintings, books, instruments, songs, stanzas, poetry, poems, it doesn't matter. You'll have a plethora, a whole catalog of that stuff that's going to be valuable to you in your future. Once again, guys, this is just my truth about being a artist, and what it means to be a creator, and what it means to express yourself through art. So like I said, if you like content like this, guys, make sure you subscribe. I haven't been getting a lot of subscribers lately. Getting the views, but no subscribers. Hit the subscribe button. Come on, guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and click it right now. Thank you. I appreciate it. But until next time, guys, see you later.